Good evening, you're watching Fiji Today. The first Fiji-Korea Business Forum was held as a landmark event to commemorate 40 years of diplomatic relations. Korean Ambassador to Fiji, Hae-wook Chung, says Korean investments in Fiji have been insignificant, and today's discussion focuses on a renewal approach to improve trade links between the two countries. Attorney General, Minister for Justice, Industry and Trade Ayaz Said Kayum says the Bainimarama government's Look North policy is well on track. Speaking at the first ever Fiji-Korea Business Forum, Mr. Said Kayum said this is an effort to provide an interactive dialogue forum to explore trade and investment potentials among business communities of the two countries.
As the Ambassador also highlighted, there are many natural synergies that already exist. We have direct flights now to Korea. That's been in place for a number of years, but we also have now connectivity through Hong Kong. So as far as the Bainimarama government's objective in terms of looking north, as we say, is being continuously fulfilled on a daily basis. The Korean investment levels in the Fijian trade obviously has been somewhat on par, and that there's enormous opportunities to expand that.
Korean Ambassador to Fiji, His Excellency Mr. Hae-wook Chung, said while there was a slight decline in exports from Korea to Fiji in 2009 and 2010, exports from Fiji to Korea has gone up by 5 times, from US $3 million in 2008 to US $15 million in 2010. Ms. Chung added there were many untapped potentials in Fiji. However, Fiji and Korean business people would have to work harder to develop unexploited markets in Fiji.
Korean business people need to work harder to develop unexploited markets in Fiji and the Pacific countries. In the area of investment, Korea's investments in Fiji have been insignificant so far and concentrated on commercial areas. However, we see the opening of new chapters of collaboration in such areas as energy and mineral resources recently.
Government's plans to implement its reforms initiatives through the various ministries and departments was evident again today as villagers in Tailevu and Rewa Delta converged at Mokani Health Center to celebrate yet another milestone achievement in the decentralization of health services around the country.
Built in 1958, the Mokani Health Center has over the past 50 years provided the much-needed health services to the many villages in Tailevu South. However, despite the center's major upgrading in 2003, the high transport costs from the area to the nearest mortuary in Wanbakasi had been an ongoing burden for many. This morning, Land Force Commander Colonel Mosese Tikutonga declared the new mortuary open, a day that the various communities in the area had long waited for.
It's only come to fruition because of the hard effort put in by the people of Tailevu. Not only those that are resided here in Fiji, but more importantly, those that reside in Australia and other parts of the world apart from Fiji. We're very grateful, our government is very grateful that they have managed to put together a lot of funds, not only to buy the mortuary berths, but also bring in medical supplies that will come and help the services here in Mokani Health Center.
Catering for a population of more than 10,367, the new facilities provides for 6 new berths, including a new walkway totaling more than $60,000 Australian. The Prime Minister's office contributed an additional $72,000, with the Ministry of Health providing labour and making arrangements for the purchase, transportation and installation of the new mortuary berths.
Usually when one of our relative passed away, we usually contact Wanbakasi mortuary, but most of the time it is full. And then we contact the CWM hospital and the private hospital, and usually they're also full. So mostly we go to Korbo to keep our bodies, and a few times we have to go right to Navua Hospital mortuary.
Sama dor saatnya wana walang wana sing dinlay dono ka kimem dona na magitu miken walew kona bi bu gelep sa rata wana maten tu lagun sa sango balatan ne go endo nakka endo walang kimem walew na wana dolang kinen law kiman.
Very happy for the government that he give us and supply us this, because if any people die here, we have to take to Suva or Bakasi. If there is school, we have to take very far.
Thanks us for the government
To supply us
everything, and we are very happy. We make food for everybody to eat and be happy. Happy New Year.
His Excellency the President Ratoipeli Nailatikau received the credentials of the new head of the European Union to Fiji and the Pacific, His Excellency Dr. Abdul Aziz. Dr. Abdul Aziz Mbaye will represent the EU to 11 Pacific countries, including the Cook Islands, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, the Federated States of Micronesia, Nauru, Niue, Palau, Samoa, Tonga and Tuvalu. He started at the European Commission as scientific officer in 1988 before joining as lead director of the Directorate General of Industry. In 1996, he then joined the delegation of the European Commission in South Africa as economic and political advisor. Dr. Mbaye replaces Wibke van de Gut. Join us again after the break.